Hello, hello, everyone. My name is Paul Bauer. I am a realtor in Lincoln and Omaha area, and this is another Bowtie Business Spotlight. With me today, I have Sarah Christianson. She has her own social media and marketing company, and she is also the director of the Mrs. Nebraska pageant. So, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. This is quite the honor. I appreciate it.
No problem at all. So, we'll just dive right into it.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and then what you do.
Okay. So, like you said, I'm Sarah Christensen. I'm mom and wife to two kids, a 9 and 6-year-old, and I'm so glad that school's back in. It was a long spring break, you guys. But no, so I have a social media marketing business here that I do on the side that kind of got started back when I was Mrs. Nebraska in 2017, and then just kind of stayed a part of the pageant system here in town. I loved helping the girls and just being a part of that environment. It's very inspiring and empowering, and they asked me to become director. And so that officially started in August. I have a co-director, Adair. She's out in Grant, Nebraska. So yeah, so here we are just trying to mesh all this stuff together.
Gotcha. And so when it came to, you kind of talked a little bit into it, but I guess a deeper question would be what got you into, the pageantry? You said that the
Yeah.
social media and marketing kind of came from that. So what kind
Yeah.
of gave you that desire?
So I grew up originally in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia. So in the South, pageantry is very big, but that just
Southern
wasn't
Belle.
something that, right? Yes. But that just wasn't something that I did or that my family did. And so fast forward, moved here. And then it would have been in 2016. A friend had said, "Hey, you really need to do this." I was like, "You guys are crazy. Like, I don't do that stuff. I'm a nurse by trade." I'm like, "No way." And so it kind of was a dare situation. And I'm pretty stubborn. And so, of course, I couldn't let that go and went into it like never in a million years thinking I would have won this thing, and walked away that evening with the crown and with quite the privilege of just supporting and representing Nebraska. Went on to Mrs. America and got to bring home Mrs. Congeniality, which to me, that's definitely a very special, near and dear to my heart. So, with being Mrs. Nebraska came a lot of opportunities to highlight local businesses, organizations here in the state and within our community. And so, from that, businesses just really enjoyed having those spotlights and getting kind of that extra attention, I guess you could say. And so I started having businesses after I gave up my title say, "Well, hey, can you still help us do that? But we'll pay you to do it." And of course, I'm like, "Well, yeah, I love doing it." Again, it's all about empowering and really just spotlighting our community. And so it just kind of bloomed from there.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's a funny thing. Even though you would be considered, a transplant, to Lincoln area, it seems like the people that are like that do consider an area of, Lincoln or Omaha home, there's a lot of values that they bring that are similar to, Lincoln and Omaha. And so I feel like that's probably why you just fit so comfortably in that. And even though it wasn't something, growing up or anything you had any desire to do, you're just kind of like, why not?
Right?
A dare's a dare, so I'll just do it.
Exactly.
And
Well,
just,
and I have to say, like, that's one thing that I've noticed about Nebraska is it really has that same Southern hospitality. And that was something that my family and I recognized as soon as we moved here. I mean, just the community and your neighbors welcoming you. It was like, okay, so even though it's like way too cold here, it's still a lot like Georgia.
yep, yep. That's a perfect way to explain Nebraska is, it's very similar to Georgia except for the weather. So
Yeah. And I'll never get used to the winters.
I
Never.
I grew up on a farm an hour north of Lincoln, and I'm still not used to them. So
Okay. Thank you.
I don't think it gets any better, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
I
So,
know, right? I just complain about it more.
yeah, I mean that's all we can do, right?
Right? Exactly.
So what Sarah's going to do now is she's going to share the Miss Nebraska website here and kind of take us on a little journey through that.
Yes. So our current pageant for 2021 is coming up on April 3rd, Easter weekend. So these girls right here are our reigning queens. So something that happened different last year than in years past is we've got a couple new divisions. So we've got the standard Mrs. Nebraska, which our current reigning one is Jamie. She's an OBGYN up in Omaha. She's fantastic. And then our first runner up then got the crown of Mrs. Nebraska American, and that is Leanna right here. She's also from Omaha, such a lovely lady. And then they also opened up a division for the Miss ladies. Now that's anyone that's 18 and older, can have kids, doesn't have kids, widowed, divorced. And that's what kind of separates us from the traditional Miss America 2.0. You can't have kids, you can't ever have been married or anything like that. So it just definitely opens up a whole other realm for people. So that is Jaquel. She is a teacher up in Omaha. She's, again, all these ladies are fantastic. So with that, I'll just go through here so you guys can see. You're able to come up here and see a bio for Jamie. And then for Jaquel, our Miss, they truly are such accomplished women, and we're so fortunate to have amazing, empowering women like them. And then for those of you that hopefully would love to come watch the pageant, we did move it back here to Lincoln at the Graduate, which I'm super excited about. Again, that's April 3rd. Doors open at 6. Pageant starts at 6:30. We've got a lot of fun things coming up with that, but you're able to scroll on down and purchase tickets. Tickets are $25 regardless of age. 2 and under are free, of course. And then over here, we always like, again, going back to highlighting sponsors, we've been very blessed with some amazing companies and businesses, from photography to laser hair removal and so forth. And then these ladies are getting ready. Actually, they leave on Thursday to head to nationals for Mrs. America. So that is out in Las Vegas, and we're super excited for them to go out there and, again, just shine bright and make Nebraska known.
I did look a little before this on their bios and everything, and not just them, but even, previous ones. It really does seem the ones that are picked, are kind of considered, the full package of, it's not just, this aspect or that aspect. Yep. And it's a little bit different than other pageantries as well, because I feel that is an area that really shines bright in this pageantry. It is a lot of very accomplished people. So yes. Is there something that goes into that, like when they do come to pick that?
Absolutely. Part of the scoring is 50% is interview. So they come prepared, ready to show whether it's a platform that they have or just something that they're very passionate about. For Jamie, her thing is just being healthy and fit and just living a very healthy lifestyle and making that a long-term thing, especially being a mom to 3 girls. That's very important to her. And then as an OBGYN as well, having to set that example for all of her patients. But definitely being in the interview prepared and showing that, look, I'm ready to spread the news on whatever it is that I'm passionate about, but at the same time being willing to connect that with the community and being able to spotlight and give back to the community like this. Definitely goes a lot more than just the traditional old-fashioned beauty pageants, as they used to call them.
That's what I feel like a lot of people know is, unfortunately, it's the movies and the popular ones out there that don't shine the greatest light on them.
Exactly.
There's way more to them than, what people actually think. So
yes.
You mentioned it a little bit with the sponsors, for the Miss Nebraska and everything. Are there, a couple or a few that, have done really great things for you, or people, that
absolutely
been partnered with that have helped?
Absolutely. Milan Laser here in Lincoln and Omaha has been absolutely fantastic. They are actually started up in Omaha, which I didn't know beforehand. And then when I reached out to them, I thought that was really great because, again, I'm all about supporting the community and keeping stuff local here. And then Michelle Strom up in Omaha, she does permanent cosmetic makeup, whether it's the hairlines for receding hairlines, eyebrows, lips, all that stuff. She's been fantastic. We've also had a couple ladies ladies that have really helped the girls prep for nationals, whether it's in the fitness or whether it's just having that confidence to be on stage. As you can imagine, a very large area like Las Vegas and being on stage in front of everyone definitely takes a little extra confidence.
Yeah. Well, great. And then last thing.
Yeah.
And I know we probably already know, what the response is going to be, but is there something that you are looking forward to this year, whether it's yourself or Lincoln?
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, of course, in April with the pageant, and just honestly to have stuff start opening back up so we can all start gathering together and just having that connection again. I think we really need that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Sarah, it's been great. I definitely appreciate you coming on and, sharing your knowledge and letting us have just a little bit of peek into that. So hopefully a lot of people do, check that out and go support them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem.